Hello, welcome. This is Samir with Chatbot Marketing Center. I am back again with one more live video in the series about building messenger bots for your business, building marketing messenger bots. So far, what we have done is we have covered some very basic steps that you can take to start building the messenger bot, connecting the bot with Facebook fan page, because you need to have a Facebook business page in order to build a bot. You cannot build it without that. We talked about that. How to create Facebook business page, really easy, really straightforward. We started using a tool called ManyChat, manychat.com, to build our initial bot. There will be one more tool, at least one more tool that we'll be discussing in future videos. There are several out there providing different kinds of different functionality. Some provide more user-friendly, easier to use interface. Some have more technical capabilities. So you can choose which one to use. ManyChat is more user-friendly, and you can get away with less technical sophistication. So that's why I used that. We talked about how to start teaching the bot to talk, to make the conversation. You can teach the bot to respond to words. You can teach the bot to start to say the greeting, to say something, and we can kind of do a few things like insert time delay, typing delay, and things like that. Now, if you build a bot and if there's no one to talk with the bot, then the bot is of no use, right? So it's very essential that you start thinking about how you are going to drive traffic to the bot. So you have to drive traffic to the bot. You have to drive people to the bot, to the messenger, in order for the bot to start interaction. And I want to start talking about that because it's like I said, if you build the bot, but if there's no one to talk, it's kind of like my initial Facebook live videos here. I'm talking, there's no one listening live, at least. But the thing is, I have to keep doing this. So you have to kind of think of strategies how you're going to drive traffic. And that's what I want to show you. There are a few different ways of driving traffic to the bot. And I have a handy guide, and I'm going to post a link here below the video. My guide is my bot. It helps you with the process of kind of figuring out whether it makes sense for you to build the bot for your business or not. Because if you do not have traffic, then it may not make sense to use the bot, because you should first think of how you can acquire traffic. If you are really struggling and trying to figure out how to acquire traffic, the bot is not going to get the traffic, right? The bot only talks when the bot has permission. The messenger bot can only send message to people who have interacted with the bot. So that means someone has to have come and start interaction with your messenger bot in order for the bot to send message to the people. So you first need traffic in order for your bot to start the conversation. So it cannot bring traffic. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. It can help bringing the traffic if you are willing to spend money on advertising. But if you're not advertising and if you don't have traffic, then you should really think of how you're going to get traffic first. So anyways, let's jump into the tool and let me start showing you some of the different ways we can set up some of the different ways you can set up so that people can start the interactions. Some of the ways to drive traffic in a sense. Excuse me. So to reiterate, I'm Samir with Chatbot Marketing Center, doing one more Facebook Live today. If you're viewing the replay, then again, I invite you to say hello in the comments below. Ask your questions. If you have any questions, wondering about bots, messenger bots, marketing, business in general, ask those questions, and I'll try to cover those. So in terms of driving people to your messenger bot, we use something called growth tools. Basically, how you can think that when you build your messenger bot, it's like a newsletter, I was saying earlier, and you need people to subscribe to your newsletter so that you can keep in touch. So you need people to subscribe to your bot, or some people say bot list. And we use growth tools to get people to subscribe to the bot list, or we use growth tools to get people to start talking with your bot, basically. So if you go to the ManyChat, you log in. Again, on the left hand side, we have this test bot that we have built so far. And on the left hand side, make sure you select the right page from here, because you can do the drop down and it will show you all the pages that you are connected with. And down below here, you have something called growth tools. So you'll see something like this. It'll have some default growth tools, and there are various types of growth tools that you can use. And growth tools are the mechanisms to get people to start interacting with your bot. So on the top right, just give me 1 second. On the top right, there's this blue button, new growth tool. Click on that. Once you click on that, you'll see this kind of slide in or pop-up type of thing, and it has 3 categories here. So it says choose widget type. So it gives you 3 types of widgets for people to start interaction with the bot. So first type is the overlay widgets, second is embeddable widgets, and the third is other types of growth tools. So under overlay widgets, there are 4 types: bar, slide in, modal, and page takeover. So here it is talking about widgets that you can put on your website. Okay, so assuming you have people coming over, you have some traffic to your website, people coming in, visiting your site, then you can use one of these overlay widgets to incentivize people to start interacting with your bot. Okay, so let's click on the first one. So I clicked on the bar, and when you do that, it'll show you a preview on the right hand side. So this is how it would look on your website. It'll create, when you use this growth tool, it'll create a bar on the top of your web page. And that's where you can change the headline, the title, and you can have a message, right? Like you always have to give people reason why they should start interacting with your bot, right? So you can use this headline for that message. Typically, if you remember, like if you're subscribed to any email list, any newsletters, you might have seen that the website offers some sort of freebie. It's called, technical term is lead magnet. So it offers a free ebook or free cheat sheet or something like that that might be useful for the user, and it says that if you want this freebie, then please give us your email address so that we can send that to your email. And I recommend using something like that, saying that I have this free cheat sheet or free ebook or something like that, and I can send it to your messenger. basically, right? The medium changes now. We are inviting them to the messenger because the bot kind of resides within Facebook Messenger. It interacts within Facebook Messenger. So it's really, when we talk about driving people to the bot, sending people to the bot, sending people to start interacting with the bot, we are talking about a type of messenger experience, and we are talking about sending people to Facebook Messenger, right? So you will see that you'll have this button, send to messenger. Basically, when people click that button, they will be taken to the messenger. And because in order for the bot to start interaction, people have to be taken to the messenger, right? So two things that have to happen. People have to go to the messenger, and people have to click a button or type in something. And when they do that, the bot subscribes them and then can start interaction. So here you give them a reason, and then you give them this button. So first, let me kind of just explain this at higher level before I get into more details. I didn't save that, so that's why it's saying that, do you want to okay, so now it's saying you have reached the limit of growth tools 4/4. Upgrading the Pro lets you activate as many as you need. So for this demo, I'm using a free ManyChat account, and free ManyChat account limits the growth tools to 4. And by default, there were 3. 3 were pre-populated, and I created a new one. So that's why it's saying that, oh, hey, you are out of your limit, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the other ones that were pre-populated, because this is just for demo purpose. So this is the bar that I created. Let me show you the other types first. Because I have to continuously juggle with the recording screen, the eCam here. The other one is, so other overlay widget is a slide in, right? You might have seen sometimes when you visit a website, after a while, a window slides in. It could be an annoying pop-up, but they can work very effectively. If you're offering people something of value, then people wouldn't mind. But I mean, it depends. You have to test. Sometimes those slidings can be annoying to user. So you always have to think of user experience. You just don't want to kind of bombard them with things, right? So similar to bar with slide in, it gives you the ability to change the headline, change the message, and that send to messenger button. Give them a reason why should they go to the messenger, right? And if you give them good enough reason, people will go to the messenger. So I'm going to delete one first and then go back, because okay, so I take it back. I'm already here. So the other one is modal. Okay, let's see. So the modal is, my understanding of modal was that there is a button. If you click and then the pop-up kind of appears, what we'll do is we'll kind of put into action later on so that we can see how exactly it works. This looks like a variation of slide in, where it just kind of starts from the middle. This is something I've not used extensively. So I use buttons most of the time because I want more flexibility in terms of messaging and where I put the button. So I don't use a lot of pre-made widgets, but I use the button. You'll see that I'll show you in a minute that there is an option for you to just pick a button, and you can have your own messaging around the button, or you can use any of the widgets. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using these widgets. So let me delete that so that I don't run out of things. I'm just quickly going to check. Just to reiterate one more time, I'm Samir, and today in this Facebook Live, I'm talking about some of the ways we can invite people to start interacting with the bot. Because the bot cannot send out any message without permission. We need the permission, and there is an implicit permission when a person clicks on a button in a messenger, or in your messenger account, person comes and clicks on a button or types in a message. That's how there is a permission now for the bot to start interacting. And of course, the person can always unsubscribe from your bot just by typing stop or unsubscribe. That's kind of most of the tools that you use, like ManyChat, that gives you ability. They have predefined those rules for subscription and unsubscription. So I was talking about the button. That's the embeddable widget. So these are the overlay widgets. So there is a page takeover also. The page takeover widget it will take over the whole of your page, right? So there might be a valid use case for that, but I mean, you should know that it's going to kind of take over the complete page when you use that. So this is what I was talking about, the embeddable widget. It is just a button, and yeah, so there you go. It's so let me show you a little more like what you do. So I selected the button, right? So now here I have some options how I can configure this tool. So there are two button types. You can have two different types of button. One is this send to messenger button. The button has a fixed message. It says send to messenger. And that's the function. This button is going to send people to messenger, right? That's its function. So one option is to have that default message. The other option is with checkbox. Okay, so all right, so when I clicked on that, I get this warning message. Be careful, Facebook has introduced a number of limitations for checkbox. Check our help article. Okay, so here you can change the title of the button, right? You can change the message, and that's very important. Send to messenger is not a compelling message by itself, although, as I was saying earlier, we don't use button by itself, right? You're never going to put just the button on your website. You are going to incentivize people to click the button. So you're going to offer something to them. You are going to give them a reason why they should click the button. So there will be other messaging around the button that will clarify, they'll make it very clear that there is something for them to get when they click the button. So with proper messaging, send to messenger is not really that big of a deal, that bad of an idea. But the thing is, quite often, the message on the button is very important because, depending on what kind of message is there on the button, it may incentivize people, it may motivate people to click on that button, right? Like, send me insights, that's the default message, or send me the free guide or something like that. Kind of secure my seat in an event, a webinar, or something like that, right? So that's why this option can be very useful, because it lets you modify the title. But then there is a downside. The downside is that in order for this button to work, the people will have to click this checkbox, send to messenger. You see this down below, right below the button? There is a checkbox, send to messenger. So if you put this button, then on your website, the checkbox will be there. So now it's a two-step process. First, people have to click the checkbox, then the button will become active, and then you can, then they can click the button. But if they don't click the checkbox, then the button will not become active. So when you're offering, so this is the user experience thing, right? Like, the more steps user has to go through, less likely the user is going to perform those steps. I mean, that's in general, we are inundated with messages and things to do. In general, people are in state of overwhelm, right? So if you make anything difficult for people, it is less likely the people will take action that you are looking for. Now, there's a flip side to that. if when you make something difficult for people, you will only get people who are really interested in doing that, right? Because only people who are very motivated and interested will go through the hurdles and ask for what they are looking for. So it's kind of good and bad. And what you should really do is testing. You should test. You should test this type of button with the other type of button and see which one works better. But here is the deal. In last year, Facebook used to kind of remember and keep this button checked already. So that was kind of the best of both worlds. But then Facebook removed that ability. So that kind of shows one of the things, that Facebook owns this platform and it'll make rules as it decides. And of course, those rules are meant for user experience, but it's going to be based on whatever, Facebook's interest. So you have to be mindful of that, and you have to keep at the back of your mind as you kind of try to capitalize on this opportunity and build things on this platform, that Facebook is going to kind of dictate what happens here. So having said that, let's go and let me try to show you maybe a couple of other. So I just want to show at higher level what kind of growth tools mechanisms there are to drive traffic, and in future videos I will kind of build a case, build an actual example within the video, so that you can see how it works. Okay, because I haven't saved those things, so it's asking me. Let's look at some of the other. So we looked at the widgets, overlay widgets, embeddable widgets. So there is an alternative to button is the box. It's very similar, but you have a box, so like you can. It's an embedded box. It's not like a slide in or overlay kind of widget. It's embedded within the page itself. So the other growth tools are landing page, Messenger ref URL, Facebook comments. So landing page can be very useful for someone who is like new, starting from scratch. You don't even need a website actually. What this is doing is this provides a landing page. It gives you an address. So you don't need a website. You can use just this landing page and get started. If you don't have a website, you're wondering, if you don't have a website and you're wondering that, gosh, I need to get a website first in order to use this tool, then no, you don't. You can use the landing page growth tool and get started. And all of this is free. So far, whatever I've described, it doesn't cost anything. That's kind of the value of this platform. Like, you can do so many things without paying any money. You can start building your Messenger bot list, subscription list, with all the tools. And of course, there are some functionality that's only available within the pro version, and I will highlight that. But someone who is starting that person doesn't need those pro functionalities, and you can definitely get started for free. So like it's showing here in the preview, it'll show you the mobile preview as well, right? You can change the title, you can change the subtitle, subhead, and you can even have an image here. So let me show you. Okay, how to trying to find out. I can show you like a test image here. Yeah, this is something I can show. It's like a stock image. So come on, yeah, there you go. So that's your landing page. You can have an image, you can have a headline, you can have subhead, subtitle, and a button. So that's all you need to get started and drive traffic to your Messenger bot from that page, right? And then you can send this page through email to people to get started with, or then it's a matter of just kind of promoting this page, right? So once you build that out, you click next here, the blue button on the lower edge, near the lower edge. So then here it's talking about the submitted state, thank you page. So you have to remember, like whenever you're offering something, whenever there's a button, like once the person clicks the button, you have few options, right? Like what do you want them to do? Typically you want to thank them for taking action because they clicked the button, right? So after submit, you have two options. You can show new message. So that's what this is doing. You can again configure this page. You can configure the message, the title, the headline, the subhead, and the button. You can configure all of that here, change colors, change the text, or you can redirect to a different URL. You can just send them to an existing URL. You can do that also. So although this is the landing page where this is the full landing page, so this is most useful when you don't have a website, so you probably don't have any other URL, right? But this functionality is available for all other growth tools also, like other widgets and buttons. You can do the same thing. You can show the new message, or you can redirect to a URL. So let me just kind of show you one more growth tool today, and then, as I said, like perhaps in one of the upcoming videos we will kind of go through all the steps of a growth tool and build one out. So a few minutes left, and my apologies, like it's always slow when it's one of the things is because I'm running this recording tool, which kind of slows down, but more importantly, the internet is slow. Okay, so let me delete because I already have 4. It's not going to let me show you the new one. So I deleted one. Excuse me. So then other one is Messenger ref URL. That's just a link. You can give that link when it creates a link, basically a URL. And when a person clicks on the link, they're taken to the Messenger. So the link can be anywhere. Link can be on your website. The link can be in email. Link can be on a Facebook post. So this is actually a very powerful growth tool, because what happens is it's just a link, so you can use it anywhere. What's happening is so many business owners are focused on their Facebook group, for example, and they want to kind of invite their group members to become the Messenger bot subscribers. Then in that case, the URL becomes very important, because that's the only way they can subscribe to the Messenger bot. The other one is Facebook comments. So Facebook lets you use commenting as a mechanism to drive people to Messenger. So what happens is you can make a post, and when people comment on that post with a specific keyword, or even without being any specific, when they comment, they'll be taken to the Messenger bot. So that's another way of driving traffic to the Messenger bot. But the thing is, the comment tool only works on your Facebook business page. The posts on your Facebook business page and on Facebook ads. Those are the only two places where the comments work. The comments don't work on your Facebook personal page. They don't work on Facebook group posts. So that's why I was saying Messenger URL is more effective on your Facebook group posts, if that's where you are more engaged in spending most of your time. Anyways, I think it's still a lot of abstract talk. You might kind of be scratching your head what I'm talking about. But my idea is to give you a higher level overview and then kind of start kind of digging deeper. So one more time, so that kind of brings us to the 30-minute mark. My goal is to keep these videos to 30 minutes or smaller. And this is Samir again. I kind of talked at a very higher level today about the importance of driving traffic to the messenger bot, because unless there is traffic going to the bot is of no use because it cannot interact. And the power of bot is in engagement and interaction. So we need to get that going. And there are different mechanisms, different entry points for people to start interacting with your bot. And again, if you are watching this recorded, then say hello, type in your questions, and I'll try to answer your questions. And I'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.